Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. I'm going to go ahead and forewarn everybody. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. And I get a little emotional if you listen to my live streams talking about video games and the response to, cut to the chase, violence in video games in real world. Let's have a little discussion about this, shall we? Because this goes back to the early 90s. This is nothing new. Scapegoating nonsense. We're going to blame everything else, everyone else besides the person behind the acts of violence. And, well, let's go along with the ride, because this started way back in 1990s, early 90s, 93, Mortal Kombat, thanks. But the ESRB, don't really have a problem with the ESRB. You know, you had Tipper Gore, PMRC, that started the ratings board for music, so naturally there's going to be one for video games eventually. But blood and guts and gore, and which I just, a lot of people consider it to be fun, just good old downright fun, because violence in video games, ESRB. And this lovely individual came along, Jack Thompson. This, I don't even know how to describe, just got a big old massive hate boner every time something bad happens in the real world. It's a jump, a leap, a massive Grand Canyon-sized leap to blame video games. We don't talk about books. We don't talk about movies, TV shows, even the nightly news. We don't want to talk about that and how much that could possibly desensitize America, or hell, the entire world, the number of gamers there are across the planet. If violent video games actually legitimately contribute to real world violence, you think there might be a whole hell of a lot more. Fact checking over here. A few years ago, where was this one? This made me lose my mind. Oh, this was 6 years ago. Someone whispered in Donald Trump's ear in his previous administration, his previous run as president, that, hey, guess what? Video game violence, we can blame that for mass shootings, right? Instead of blaming the individual. So this is nothing new. This is nothing that is restricted to any particular letter. Why is this not coming up? There we go. It's not restricted to any particular letter in the alphabet. Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal. All the politicians are absolute morons. RFK came out recently, September 10th, after an unfortunate event in the United States. Says mass shootings may be connected to video games. What data shows? Well, if you've been paying attention to this little subject, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt what the data shows. It shows absolutely nothing. No correlation, no connection whatsoever to be found to attribute real-world violence, whether it's school shootings, particular assassination attempt, assassination success. You can't find a single study. I've said this numerous times. They can't even manipulate a study to show that violent video games like my Grand Theft Auto, oh my God, clutch my pearls, contributes to any real-world violence. They cannot even manipulate a study to show what they wanted to show. Because if they did, if they could, just find one, that's all you would find. Now, why am I bringing something up that just happened 2 weeks ago? Because they just can't help themselves. Why on earth is that at the bottom? They simply cannot help themselves. Most recently, anti-ICE gunman Joshua John, who had some opinions not too long ago, shot up a ICE vehicle, I believe. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But unfortunately, accidentally hit the wrong people and then went through self-checkout. Again, the New York Post doing what the New York Post does, doing what all these nonsensical talking head journalists scapegoating gamers for nonsense happening in the real world. Instead of, I don't know, how about we look at the person, look at the problems they might have, psychological deficiencies in their lives. Heaven forbid we point the finger at the person, the individuals that do the not so nice things. Oh, but because he played Team Fortress, Left 4 Dead 2, and Rust all those hours, oh, it's got to be the fault of the video game. And of course, naturally, we're going to get some nice, wonderful community notes. Important to know that video games have been found to not cause violence. Got a few studies right there. Every so often, anytime something comes up that people don't want to point the finger at the person, they refuse to, whether they have an agenda to push, an ideology to push, to cater to. All they're going to do is point the finger at the nearest, closest, most safest scapegoat that they can. We're going to blame the gun, the inanimate object that cannot do anything without the person behind it. We're going to blame the video game, even though there's not a single solitary study to have ever come out in, 30-odd years now? To link real-world violence to video game violence. Just one single study is all they would need, because it would be all that you would see, but they can't even find that. That should be enough for everyone to know. Does it desensitize? No. I have my doubts. It starts with the person. Let's start taking responsibility for our actions. Let's start taking responsibility for the things we say, the things we do, and stop blaming video games for your bullshit. But hey, can't wait for the next time this one come around. It's almost getting to be like a broken record. Something bad happens, let's blame video games. But what do you expect from the New York Post and a politician? Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTube is begging you to do. And I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.